What's going on, my fellow gamers? Welcome back. Today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Fusion by PowerA for the Nintendo Switch. And we're going to take a look at everything that comes in the box, that comes with the controller. We're going to be reviewing the controller. But before we begin, I do want to mention this is not a sponsored video. They did not pay me to do the review. They did provide the product for me to review, but my thoughts and opinions are my own. With that being said, let me tell you why this is my new favorite controller. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's take a look at what the controller has. We're going to read the back of the box, and then I'm going to talk about my own personal experiences with this said controller. So, first things first, the Fusion Pro controller, or Fusion I should say, not Pro controller, Fusion controller has the controller inside it, which is this controller right here, okay? The controller has a swappable plate, so you can switch between a white face plate and a black face plate. I reached out to PowerA to see if they have any other face plates. They currently do not, which makes me sad. Makes me sad because if you have a swappable face plate, it'd be nice to have different customized face plates. That would be really cool, like if they did a Zelda themed one or a Metroid themed one or whatever. But unfortunately, they do not have it. So, yeah, only black and white faceplates at the moment. The controller also comes with two different thumbsticks, so extra thumbsticks. It says they're extra tall thumbsticks, so I'm guessing these are the thumbsticks that comes with it. The other thumbsticks, one of them is rounded, and the other one is identical to this one, which is concave. You get what I'm saying. So they are, or the controllers are chargeable, so they're rechargeable, no batteries required, and they use a USB-C port cable, which I appreciate that they included in that, or in this, because it's I think a 10-foot cable. It's really ridiculously long. Have it right here. I really like that it's a longer cable, because some controllers, when you buy them, whatever, they're short controllers. Like for example, the Pro controller, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, the recharging cable is rather short. So it also has a removable and mappable trigger pack on that you can attach to the back. But to be honest, I haven't found a use for it on my Switch games. Those are that's a very niche kind of thing. It has rubber grips, which are already on the controller, and let's see, magnetic impulse triggers, which we're going to talk about these triggers as well. And it has a premium case, which we're going to go ahead and take a look at. Now, the battery life, it doesn't really talk about the battery life on this, but the battery that it uses is the same battery that you find. Where's my other controller? It's the same battery that you find on their regular wireless controllers, or their enhanced wireless controllers, I should say. Mark II. I call these a Mark II because the Mark 1 or the version 1 required batteries. So the battery life it should be the same on this. On these controllers, the battery life or the expected battery life is over 30 hours. We're going to talk about that too. So I've already opened this, so you can see it's a very nicely packed case. For me, when it comes to controllers, especially, or premium products in general, the casing matters heavily. So if it's a flimsy case, then I have problems with that. I had an issue with that with another controller that was like a $280 controller, and it comes in like the flimsiest box of life, and like you're paying that much money for a controller, but you don't have a way to protect it. In this case, we do have a way to protect it. It comes in a very sturdy case. I actually take this out with me when I'm bringing my controller with me. The only downside with this, and I've said this before with another case, which was the Fusion controller on for the Xbox, it doesn't have a handle. Okay, I would like them to put handles on these, because if I'm walking around, if I'm carrying these, I want a way to hold it, like, you know, like legitimately hold it. Because right here, it can slip out of my hand or whatnot. If I have a handle attached to the top, I can walk around and not have to worry. But here we are. So that's, you know, that's kind of a downside to the presentation or the case. Now, the case inside is very nice. It's padded to protect the controller. The up here, you have a flap that has the black faceplate. Well, actually, it comes with the white faceplate inside, and the black faceplate is already on the controller. So that's the black faceplate. I actually prefer the white faceplate. It looks really nice, especially with the red trim that it has. It's a very nice aesthetic. Actually, this wire is actually for this controller, so that was my bad on that one. But either way, this is the premium wire that it comes with. It's still a 10-foot cable, so again, I appreciate that. These are the mappable triggers that you can attach to the back, which again I don't do. Again, like I said, it's a very niche kind of thing. And then right here are the extra long thumbsticks if you want to swap those out. I actually like thumbsticks that it comes with, so I don't bother with that. It fits nicely packed into the case, and like I said, I've already taken this out and about. You put it in, and you know, fits nice, and it's extremely sturdy enough for me to do this. That's how I test the sturdiness of cases. I am not even joking. I even do that with the Switch cases, which review on that coming soon. So let me go ahead and go get that for you. So this case is sturdy enough where I would be comfortable dropping it on concrete, on tile, you name it. Okay. So again, I appreciate the quality that this case has. Now, let's talk about the controller itself. The controller is extremely comfortable. I really like the weight to it. It actually weighs more than this controller does, the enhanced wireless controller, and it weighs more than the Pro controller does. Now, I personally don't like the Pro controller. I really don't. The Pro controller, the grips feel weird. It's like it's a plastic, but it's not a plastic. It's very weird. And so when I go through extensive periods of gameplay, like if I'm playing for hours on stream, the grips tend to get a little sticky. It feels weird. Where these, because they're rubberized grips, they feel nice, and I feel like I'm always in control when it comes to the controller. Haha, you see what I did there? So no matter what game I'm playing, I don't have any issues with it. So if I'm playing Mario Kart, if I'm playing Smash, if I'm playing any RPGs or whatever, I feel like I always have a sturdy grip on the controller, and it feels natural. Ergonomically, it feels identical, like I said, to the enhanced wireless controllers. They're the same size, so no difference in size. I might not be holding it exactly, but there's no difference in size to them, so it feels just fine. And then as far as the Pro controller goes, I think it's a slight bit bigger than the Pro controller, but I'm okay with that. The weight also is not as much as these are. In this, there are weights on the grips that make it feel heavier, which I'm okay with the weight on this. But one of the things for me is, like, I wish it was a little bit lighter. Boom, this is lighter, and I greatly appreciate that. Now, let's talk about the thumbsticks themselves. They're very smooth. Like, oh my god, they are very smooth and extremely responsive. When I'm playing a game, I don't feel any sort of latency between myself and the character that I'm playing, or you know, if I'm playing Mario Kart or anything like that. Usually when I get controllers, the games that I tested on are going to be like Mario Kart, games that require a lot of movement, and then for like longevity, it would be playing RPGs. So in the case of a game like Mario Kart, there is little to no latency. I don't see any difference between this and the Pro controller, or this and the enhanced wireless controller, as far as responsiveness for the character on the screen. The other thing too is, like I said, they are very smooth. They are very quiet. It feels better using these joysticks than it does on the Pro controller. The Pro controller, and not that it doesn't feel smooth when you move it around, it's a different responsiveness. You can see, like, when you move it, it's just, this one seems to respond a lot quicker than the Pro Controller does. It's I don't know if it's because of the internals or what, but just something about the movements on the joysticks just feels a lot better. The buttons feel nice. I like them better than the Pro Controller. The Pro Controller kind of feels a little spongy when you push the buttons for me, where these are very responsive. I get the clicking, which I like. Some people might not like that. I prefer my controllers to give me that kind of clicking response back when I push the buttons, because that lets me know, hey, it's working. Where if I don't hear it, I don't feel the feedback with the buttons, it just feels smushy. It doesn't feel normal. The triggers are awesome. They don't have a lot of there's not a lot of room in it, like when I push the triggers. And when I say room, I mean like distance, right? So like, for example, on the Xbox Pro control or Fusion controllers, you can adjust it to how you want. So you can put it short distance, or you can put it long distance. This doesn't have the option to do that, so it's always short distance. Which honestly, there's not a whole lot of FPS shooters on the Switch anyways, so that really doesn't make any difference for me. Okay, so that's for me. The D-pad feels nice. Feels almost the same as the Pro Controller. The only difference is the Pro Controller is a little bit more raised than the D-pad on this controller is. But other than that, like, it just, the D-pad feels very responsive. Like, it feels good. It also doesn't feel as, this is weird because it's plastic, like they're made of plastic, but it doesn't feel as plasticky as the wireless controller. Like, it feels like a premium D-pad. Everything about this controller feels premium, which is what you want out of a Pro Controller, or out of a more expensive controller. Whereas the Pro Controller itself, it doesn't feel premium. That's one of the biggest issues that I have with the Pro Controller, right? Like, you're paying $60 for the Pro Controller, and it doesn't feel premium at all. Like, the buttons, the home buttons, everything is kind of like flush on the Pro Controller, and I don't like that. Where here, they're raised up. It feels nice. It feels responsive. Everything about this is great. The gyroscopes work on it. The only downside is there's no rumble feature, which, I mean, none of their controllers have rumble feature on it. I think that's just something that's relegated to Joy-Cons. And I don't remember if the Pro Controller has rumble or not either. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Now, let's talk about the battery life. Okay, I mentioned that the battery life it's the same battery that's in here. And these batteries are estimated to have a 30-hour or more battery life. Well, the thing is, I hate to tell you, they don't have a 30-hour battery life. It's much, much more. I've clocked in at over 50 hours of battery life on this controller, playing games like Shin Megami Tensei 5, Pokemon, and yeah, this battery life is well over that, and it gets around 50 hours. And again, your mileage may vary. Okay, it gets around 50 hours for me, and it's still not dead. Like, the red light comes on to be like, hey, you got to charge me. But other than that, it's like 50 hours. This thing doesn't even come close. The Pro Controller doesn't even come close, right? So I will take this over the Pro Controller any day. And Power A, thank you for sending this to me. I hope that you guys watching found this review helpful. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really use the triggers, like I said, because it's not something that I have a use case for. But just as a controller itself, this is my new favorite controller. And no, Power A did not pay me to say this. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully you found this helpful, especially coming into the holiday season. And I will have an affiliate link down below if you want to purchase the controller through Amazon. It would help the channel out. And I'll see you next time, because I got some more stuff to review. Again, especially for holiday season. Everybody, happy gaming.